Dixie with the Fool's Journey. I am doing these little one-card video readings, and the next one up is from Marley, who wants to know, is it too late for her to have kids? So obviously you're not feeding me a softball question, Marley. Let's see what we get. Got the Seven of Cups. My first inclination is to say, define what you mean by having kids. That sounds kind of silly, okay, because I know what you mean by having kids. You mean getting pregnant and having a biological child. I think that you may or may not, I don't know. You know, with the Seven of Cups, I would be almost inclined to wonder if, you know, if you would either possibly get pregnant and have difficulties with the pregnancy at some point, or even more likely, if you might need to redefine your definition of having kids to some degree. Like, would there be a stepchild or an adoption or, you know, a child by marriage, having kids a non-traditional way? I don't know if you're going to have a biological kid. I assume that if you're asking me this question, it's something that you want to do, and you're concerned you're not going to be able to. And I don't know your age or anything like that. But with the Seven of Cups, I would say that you might have children of a different nature. You know, you might have a niece or a nephew that's like a child to you. You might end up raising somebody else's kids, one way or another. That your involvement with kids may be non-traditional. But yeah, there are many ways to parent. And I know you know how this stuff works. Because, gosh darn it, if somebody wants to have kids and they're sitting here asking me if it's too late for them, I want to say no. You know, of course not, of course not. Sometimes it is, though. You know, and I don't think you're old enough that physically, but the sense I'm getting is that it's more likely that your parenting instincts are probably going to, that you're still going to get an opportunity to parent, but that it's probably going to be a non-traditional, or, you know, not a, hi, I'm pregnant, here's a baby kind of thing. Whether it's in vitro or whether it's something's different. Something's different about it. It's not your mainstream ABC. But honestly, if that's what you want, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But regardless of whether I'm right or wrong, because really that kind of doesn't matter that much. What really matters is your life. Start opening yourself up to the experience of parenting in alternative ways now, if that's something that you want. Whether it's with family members or big sisters or friends, kids, or whatever. Start feeding that maternal stuff. I don't want to say pets because that's almost trivial, but start feeding that maternal energy, and you know, and then do the doctor stuff and whatever that you need to do if you get to a point where that's what you're looking at, because that's going to maximize your potential for doing that, or you know, for having a biological family. So start looking into alternative ways to parent, because I do think you're going to get the opportunity. I just think that it may not be exactly what you're expecting. But regardless of that, there's a lot of ways to parent, you know. I hope that's helpful, and good luck. Okay? Take care.